I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's joining us today. We're going to do us a little quick harvest of the garden. We're going to get some freeze weather coming through in the next few days, so we want to get as much off as possible. But today, it's all about Thanksgiving. Now, these right here are our blue collards. Look how beautiful those leaves are. And we're going to make this thing really fast because we got to get inside. We're already running behind time. And my daughter's been bugging me about getting out here and cutting this stuff up so she can get to cooking. We're pruning and harvesting at the same time. And these blue collards are delicious. These are the purple tree collards. And as that cool weather has come in the last few days, oh man, that is absolutely beautiful. That's the purple tree collards. But she going in the pot too. It's gonna be a nice pot of greens there. And these collards have been giving off all year, and they're gonna keep giving it to you. Cut and come again. And part of that is because I'm doing what I'm doing. You have to keep harvesting these greens in order for them to keep producing. So we're gonna leave a couple of these at the top so it can photosynthesize and give us some more. And then we'll move down here to the other one. We're pruning as we go. So this baby will bounce back, and she's gonna be able to give us something for Christmas as well. We're gonna go ahead and take these inside, and we're gonna continue along with our harvest of the rest of the garden. So this is what we got going into the pot today. It's enough for the family growing out the box. My daughter's going ahead and putting those in the pot. We're gonna just go ahead and remove some of these peppers because we're finna get down into the 20 degrees in the next few nights, and this baby is not gonna make it. These are the long cayennes. I love these things. So we're gonna come back and get this branch here since they've already dried out. I wanna keep those separated because those are gonna be my seeds. You see here we have some bok choy going down here, along with some purple onions. And you can see my carrots are starting to come up. Carrots all the way down and going all the way around the edges of the bed. Got some carrots back here. That's what the carrot looks like, and that's what's going to produce those seeds to keep us going. Also in the back here, we have some of our early Frosty peas, and they're going up. We're going to see how well they do going through this 20-degree weather. They should be okay down to 15 degrees, but we're about to test them out. So we're not going to really pull anything out of this bed. So look, oh my goodness. So this here is my VGO Garden Planter, and you've seen this in the garden all year long. This is going inside, and this right here is what we call a black pearl pepper. These peppers are ready now, and that's going to be our seeds for next year. But this is going inside with me. I want this plant to grow throughout the winter, and then we're just going to bring it back out, so hopefully we can cover this whole cage. We're going to grab some of these poblanos. See, a lot of this stuff's not gonna make it. Once that cold comes in, we're finna get down into the 20s. That's a poblano. And we still got peppers coming in. And you can eat these green as well. And we're gonna take these. All right, so we'll come down here. Cabbage in our baskets, but again, some more poblanos. And you can eat them whether they're green. When they're red, they're just a bit more spicy. Something we'll add into the Thanksgiving Day meal as well. Now we're gonna go over here to our banana peppers. These banana peppers are off the meter. Look at these things. That is beautiful. And we're in the end of November, still getting peppers off like this. And this is how this garden has produced all year long. So we're gonna end up giving some of these away. And I'm probably gonna need me a larger bucket at the end of the day. These are definitely gonna be some seeds for next year. All of this is from one plant. Look at all that. That's one plant. Gonna go over here to our other banana peppers. Got more over here. Every year I come out here and able to harvest and take it into the table. And then when you hear people say, that doesn't taste like the peppers I normally taste, or the collards don't taste like the collards I normally taste, that tells you because this stuff is grown with love. So we're gonna have a few people over here later on, and we'll come out and we'll finish harvesting the rest of it. But I just wanted to kind of take you guys around with me and just show you a little bit of what we're pulling off these plants. Another banana pepper. All right, so now we're going over here to our paprikas. And these things, I mean, I can't tell you enough times, my peppers have been off the chain this year. Again, we're gonna have some 20-degree weather coming in the next few days. So most of these peppers are not gonna survive, but they have more than given their share of harvest throughout the course of this season. 2024 has been beautiful in this garden. Summer heat, we handle it well. The winter, we handling it well. It all comes down to what's in the soil. Every year we're using less and less fertilizers, and we're allowing the soil to do the job, all the microbiology in the soil. And it gets easier as it goes. It's not a whole lot over here. We have one golden pepper still on here, and we're just gonna throw that in there. That's the last on that plant. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pick these fish peppers while we're here. Now this is Mike's Chaotic Gardening here. I wanna give a big shout out to Mike. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Hey man, I really appreciate all that you did for the Collards and Cabbage 2024 challenge. You were a big part of making that happen, and that's why you got that MVP trophy. We're gonna be sending you that VGO planter so you can grow a little bit more inside. There's a lot of peppers on here. Mike, this plant has really produced like crazy, man. And I got another one on the other side of the garden that's still putting off as well. All summer long, this pepper has been doing its thing. Trying not to cut myself also, because these things are pretty sharp. That's the last thing I want to do. My wife is always telling me I'm forever injuring myself out here in the garden. I get out here and go to work and get too excited about the harvest that I'm bringing in and be done snap my finger off. We don't want that. So people, be careful when you're handling these little snips, man, because they are really sharp. I don't try to grow a whole lot. What I try to do is grow enough and a variety of plants to where I can learn what each plant does, the personality of the plants. And once I learn the personality of the plants, I'll tend to go on to the next plant and try to grow something a little different. With these fish peppers, I really love the way they came out. So it's definitely going to be something that I'll be growing again. And for me, most of the time, the growing is about just learning the different plants, because there's nothing like someone asking you a question about a particular plant and you can go right out to the garden and show them what it is that you're talking about, as opposed to just reading it off of Google, as I do often. But there's nothing wrong with Google, because Google is one of the ways that I learn a whole lot. Then I'll go over to the university extensions to follow up on those searches. That's how I come up with the finals on what I decide to do out here in the garden in terms of how to grow, what different fertilizers to use on which particular plants, the pH of the soil that's required for those particular plants. All of those things are very relevant. And the pH, speaking of the pH, that's something that most people don't pay attention to. Each one of these beds that I have here around the garden, each one of them is set for a specific plant. And that's why you see I have peppers along with what used to be tomatoes on the inside. This bed is acclimated and the plants are going to adapt really well to this range of pH of the soil. Without that, you're going to be struggling to get these plants to grow, because they're not going to be within their comfort zone in terms of the nutrients that they're able to pull from the soil. So having that pH tuned in, that's very important. And most of the time we don't even talk about the pH of the soil. We go straight to how much nitrogen you need, or how much phosphorus you need, or how much potassium you need. And nobody even considers the fact that none of that stuff's available to the plant if you're growing organically, unless your pH in your soil is optimized. Now, people always ask me, how do I get my broccoli heads to look so good? What some people fail to understand is broccoli is a flower head, and without phosphorus, it's not going to produce a flower. But we're going to make us a nice broccoli casserole for Thanksgiving today. It's not too bad on the broccoli, huh? We have 24 broccoli in the other bed that we haven't even gotten to yet. And here we have our fava beans, and they're coming up, and they should be good down to 15 degrees as well. We have some more of our bok choy, also have some celery coming up. And right here we have some more of our purple top turnips, some more of our early frosty peas, and our dark opal basil is still hanging on. Our ginger is coming out, and we're going to be taking our ginger inside, and we're going to be growing in our VGO Garden Planters. We have some of our Icicle radish. You know, we grow radish year round. Right here we have some of our little Marvel snap peas, and we're going to end up covering these up as that cold weather comes in, because they are good down to 20 degrees, and we should be getting down to 20 degrees, but I want to do a little something extra to protect these. This is what that Icicle radish looks like. Look how beautiful that is. And this is what I make my teas out of. That's really good there. Now, here's something else that I want to show you guys. We're gonna take these off. Look at this. It's called a queen of the night. Kind of reminds you of my black cherries, but just a little larger. Look at that baby. See how that is? All right, so now we get over here to our long cayennes. Now these will definitely be my seeds for next year. Again, everything that's out here in the garden right now, they fared through not only the hot weather, but they've also fared through some cold weather. And these are gonna be my best seeds. Again, I haven't taken any medication, in the last, since 2020. No matter what's going on with me, I fix that tea, shake it off, shake it off. Just like this soil out here, you gotta build that system up and build that immunity. Not to say that you're not gonna get attacked, but it is gonna say that your body has built up enough immunity to where it's able to fight off any infections that do come on. And that's when you realize why eating healthy makes such a big difference. It's not just something to do, it's a lifestyle change. And I live by this stuff. For every time that my wife came in, I think maybe about a week ago, when I started getting a little runny nose, my wife runs to the medicine cabinet. You need to take this, you need to take that. And the first thing that I said to her, well, this stuff works. There's no better time now than to prove it to myself. I'm not even going to say sick, but I definitely felt something coming on, a bug or virus. And I went to my tea. I didn't take any medication. Everything came out of this garden to work me back. And that's what I do every single time. You have to be consistent with it, have your body built up, build up your immune system. So even when I'm not feeling bad, I'll drink some of that radish tea just to get my body built up to it, and it helps you relax. And it's really like conditioning your body. That way, whenever you come across someone who has a virus or something of that nature, and your body will get attacked, you're able to fight it off because you're eating better. And I'm gonna just say this to my guy J3GS Farms. Brother, we with you. So I see you over there trying to do your thing, and it's one day at a time. One day at a time, my brother. You're gonna do it, but you gotta be consistent and disciplined. Don't talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. It would have been very easy for me last week to go to the medicine cabinet and start popping every pill that was in there to try to get me back. But I stuck to it. 4 days later, everything started draining out and I'm back to myself again. So that's that radish tea that I'm always talking about. And that's why you see me growing that icicle radish all throughout the garden, all year long. Even in the summertime, when they go to seed, those pods, you can eat the pods of the icicle radish. So I never have to plant radish. They self-seed themselves, and every year those radish get stronger and stronger. And then as you eat them, you are what you eat. That's where that phrase comes from. You are what you eat. What you put in your body is what you're going to get out of it. If you're eating strong, healthy plants, these colors in the fruits and vegetables that we eat, anthocyanins, that is where the plant gets that strength from. That is what you're going to eat, and that's where you're going to get your strength from. I'll be the first to tell you that I am not finna touch these. Because if you touch these and you got an open scratch on your finger, it's gonna literally feel like somebody poured acid on you. And if you touch these and you touch your eyes, that can be very dangerous. So I respect these Carolina Reapers. All right, so we're over here at the sweet potatoes. So this is one of my things that I do every year. And my daughter always makes a personal pie just for me. These, I believe, are Marakis, and those, I believe, are Georgia Jets, if I'm not mistaken. But go ahead and cut the rest of these off. I've already trimmed some of it out. So all we're doing is just trimming off the tops enough so we can grab them and know where our plants are at. All right. Who run it? So these are the Marakis. Yep, pretty nice for that first grab. So we're gonna throw those down there. Let's see here. And this is mostly topsoil here. Okay. A lot of smaller ones. Look like we could have left them in there a little longer. But it's still pretty decent. Oh yeah, there's something hiding down there. Look at that. Grab this bundle. There's some at the bottom. Some more there. And this is just 5 plants. Some more there. Yes, some down in there. Those babies went deep.
Look at the color.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful purple. We're gonna pop one of those in half before we finish just to let you see how that color looks. Let's see what else down in here. Man, they went deep. That's all the way to the bottom of this planter. That's something new there. So I'm gonna have to really dig into this to make sure that I'm getting everything out. Yeah.
It might be an actual wing. It might have went into the actual burn.
Cause I feel like I can feel stuff popping down there. But again, this is just topsoil. Nothing special. You want something real loose so those potatoes can really get in there. So, like I said, it's just 5 plants in this one thing here.
Still a lot for five.
Yeah, I think I'm missing some because they're down there. They're way down there. That's crazy.
These might be one of the ones we could go back and dig out.
Yeah, I think I am. Because I was just about to say I was done. Yeah, I think I'm going to come back and fool with this a little later. We'll go over here. Again, that's the Marakis here. It's 5 plants. That ain't bad. The Georgia Jets, I think I put in a little after the Marakis, but the Georgia Jets should be a little larger in terms of roundness. And I'm gonna separate these because I want to keep those slips separate. Yeah, the Georgia Jets are known to be a thicker potato, but I think I put these in after the Marakis, so I don't know just how well they actually perform. And it's my first time growing Georgia Jets as well. All right, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, you see they're a little rounder. And we'll sit those there. Oh boy. So I'm definitely right. The Georgia Jets. The Georgia Jets come in with that girth. And like I said, I put those in after the Marakis. Yep. So I'd definitely be growing some more of these Georgia Jets. I like the Georgia Jets size just off the back, but I don't know if they're going as deep as the Marakis did.
This is what you had last year?
No, I had Marakis last year.
Mm.
Yeah, that's usually what I grow every year, Marakis. But I just wanted to try something different since Georgia Jet. Hey, Georgia, I figured it would go pretty well here. But again, I've got these in late, but I really didn't do anything to them. I just put them out here and let them go. There's definitely some more in here. Oh yeah, get that baby there.
Hey, what's up with the brown one?
Like a little bird.
Mm-hmm. Like a dove. Why is it brown?
Probably too much water
Mm.
because we got that rain last week. Oh my goodness. God. Oh boy, Georgia Jets. This is a Georgia Jet, baby. Definitely going to be doing these again next year. I think they need a little more room though.
That's a full pot.
That is cool. Pound for pound, they kicking butt right now. Yeah, definitely Georgia Jet. I'm definitely gonna keep those slips, take those inside. The only thing, it looks like the Georgia Jets didn't go as deep. But then again, I haven't gone down there, so I don't know yet. This baby's still giving. Look at that. All right. Okay. So again, it's my first time growing the Georgia Jets. So let's see what we look like in comparisons. Put up Marakis there. Georgia Jets. That's not bad for, I think I did 5 slips in each one. Again, I put these in later, so I'm definitely gonna give them more space next year. And I think that's has a little bit to do with why they aren't as many, but that's pretty good for 5 plants. And I think it's something down there at the bottom because I haven't gotten but down to about right here. So I'll come back a little later and see if I can dig the rest of that out. But let's see here. Should have put on some regular gloves. Look at that. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take these inside. We're not going to rinse them off. And we're going to let these cure. So I'm going to put the Georgia Jets on the bottom since they're the heaviest. And some of these we're going to cook fresh tonight. And I think we got enough to make a couple of pies. Definitely enough to make a couple of pies. And we could tell the difference between the Georgia Jets and these Marakis. The Marakis are very dark. But that is not a bad harvest. What do you say, son?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. For putting the garden on autopilot this year, that was the main thing that I was trying to do. For the past few years, I've put a lot of energy into fertilizing, making sure that the soil is prepped up, putting our compost teas down, our compost. And I think I've got it to a point to where it's dialed in enough to where the garden is pretty much taking care of itself. I put in a little alfalfa pellets along with some of my DIY fertilizers here and there. But for the most part, this thing has done its own work. So this is what we're growing in the month of November. Growing out the box. 23.5, baby, my cup runneth over.